And he's starting from P3. I think it's a great chance for Fabian to win this race. But Dan is looking quicker this season, so too is Pshenk. We should see a really close lead fight between several drivers. Bonfer in P4, one of the highest qualifying sessions he's ever had. Let's see how this goes. Same as Kota last season, I'm pretty certain. Here we go then, 5 red lights for the drivers for 31 laps of the Singapore Grand Prix, and it is. Lights out, and away we go. Good start from Dan. Is Pshenk going to get bad start? Fabian to the outside already. And if Pshenk goes straight into the lead into the first corner, it's true right into turn 1. Dan goes around the outside, side by side with Pshenk into the first turn. Pshenk does take the lead with another great start from him. Can Dan get the switch back off the exit? Dan gets some oversteer, but he goes for it. It's side by side for the race leader team, Pshenk and Dan. And John and Bonfer side by side behind them. Dan to the outside. Can he get past Pshenk at the start of the race? That is the big question at hand here. It's going to be a battle for between the two of them. Meanwhile, in the background, Felix making some moves on the background. Levy had a great start up to P8. But Dan there, right to the outside. Can he go around the outside of Pshenk here on this? Because he was pushed wide from the curb. And now he's going to go down the inside. Pshenk sends it though. Trying to force himself through there. It's forcing the issue on Dan. And it's a huge battle for position up front. Right on the side goes Dan now. Wonderful racing between the top two. And the safety. It's out of virtual safety car. Dan was ahead, and Dan will get the position, and he's now going to lead the race from Pshenk in P2. Look at big accident, Levy. That's Ferrari out of the race. That could be a safety car. It is. Safety car deployed. And that was right as Pshenk was right on the back of Dan there, and now it's all a matter of strategy. Who's going to do what? Is someone going to pit is the question. Well, you have. So what's Dan going to do on the restart? Here he goes now. Good restart from Dan. Oh, Pshenk made a mistake, and that's going to be a chance for Fabian to get past him. Already on the restart, Fabian's alongside him on the outside line. And this is big for Pshenk's championship lead. Here he comes, Fabian now around the outside. Is he going to go for it? It's going to be close. Bonfer's in this fight as well. And it's side by side with Team Pshenk and Fabian. Fabian gets pushed to the curb, and is now still in P3, but he's right behind Pshenk, and that has allowed Dan to pull out of a second of the cars behind. And now Pshenk under all sorts of pressure from Fabian behind him. Meanwhile, Ski goes past Drags as Felix goes down to last place. That's Felix in the wall, looks like. He is indeed. Felix is in the wall there in the background. Will there be another safety car? I don't think so. And Pshenk there, trying anything he can to defend, but Fabian does just about manage to defend him. Meanwhile, here comes Ski once again, chasing down Levy for P6 now. Trying what he can. Looks pretty quick. Levy couldn't pick a way to go, and Ski goes around the outside of Levy now. Levy goes down the inside, contact, and Ski makes it stick around the outside. That was a fair overtake, I'd say. I can. Fabian, though, right behind Pshenk. Pshenk is so much slower than Fabian. Look at it once again. Dan is just pulling away from these cars behind, and Fabian is doing what he can to get past Pshenk. And down the inside he goes. Can he make it stick? On the inside, Fabian goes contact almost. Oh, it's so close, side by side off the corner. But Fabian will have that double DRS detection and goes around the outside now through the fourth to last corner even. Can he get past Pshenk down the inside? It's so close to contact. Oh my god. And he gets it down the inside as Fabian. Great move into P2. And now Fabian will set aside after Dan, the driver who won the last 2 seasons here at Singapore. Looking racy here on the restart. Will now chase down Dan for P1. Behind Dan he is now. Dan on the exit of the corner. Has he got enough to defend against Fabian? Fabian looks really quick here. To the outside he goes. There's almost contact. To the inside goes Fabian. Dan squeezing where he can. Can he go around the outside? He does. Great racing from Dan. Goes around the outside to maintain the lead of the race. Good defense. Meanwhile, Jan is side by side with Bonfer now. And switchback heaven. What beautiful switchback from Jan. Round the outside he goes into this corner now. And he gets the move to stick. And into P4 he goes. Aston Martin off these corners. Dan looking to be in clean air. It's making a big difference for him here. Here comes Fabian now down the inside into this corner. Can he go for it? He sends it down the inside. But Dan still remains firm on the outside line. Side by side through the penultimate corner. Here comes Dan to the inside line. No, he can't make it. And Dan still maintains the lead of this race. So, on the exit, and Dan's going to pit. Dan's going to go early, and that's probably not the best option, to be honest. We'll see how that plays out. He's trying to... That's exactly what Dan was planning on doing, but Fabian wants to go long, which is not a bad idea. He can probably go a few more laps, honestly, because the overcut can be very useful at this track. There's a big tyre deficit, even on the hard. We'll see. John has got plenty of battery to use. Heading off the straight now. He hasn't got DRS though. Pshenk does. And Pshenk with those lower wings will try and go past him. Can't quite manage to do so. Into the back he goes. He hits the back of John again. And now Dan is right behind Pshenk as well. And this is exactly what Dan wants. He hasn't quite got DRS because there's a double DRS detection point. Here he goes. Pshenk down the inside of John. Will John hang around the outside? He can't do it just yet, but he's going to get DRS, I think. He does. He gets DRS on Pshenk. It's not over yet, this battle, I don't think. Oh, and John just doesn't quite... He has framing damage, I'm pretty sure, so I don't think he can make it. But Dan now right behind John. Can Dan now get past John in full position now? To the outside he goes. Dan sends it around the outside. That was a great overtake from Dan. Will that be illegal, though? It's not. Not illegal for Dan. Interesting. I didn't expect that, but no, Dan has DRS on Psheng as well now. Way quicker than he would have. To break the toe. He's got double DRS detection, does Dan. So this can be massively in his favor, but this is also going to help Fabian catch up. A little bit of slide there from Dan off the exit, going into the corner, I should say, in the braking zone. Lock the rears a little bit there. And now we'll try and stay behind Psheng, who is using some battery, looks like, to pull away from Dan on the straight. Fabian closing in rapidly. Yeah, it's like that Levy in the wall. He is, yeah, he's in the wall on the straight. There's a safety car. Safety car. And Jan can pit and come out right in the midst of this. He can go onto medium tyres. And will ski pit. No, he doesn't. Dan doesn't pit. Then Fabian is now right behind. What's he going to do? He's pitting. Fabian pits now. Interesting. Oh, but John pitted too. Why on earth would they both pit? That's going to be a disaster for them because they're going to lose that position. And Bonfo stays out anyway. And Jan's strategy does work. And now on the medium tyres, he will be in a great position in this race. Will Jan? In P1 with Dan in P2. Psheng on the oldest tyres of anyone in this race, looking to make his defence work. Of course, Fabian managed it in Australia. Can Psheng manage it in Singapore? Gets a great restart. And they both have full battery. They all have full battery now in the front of the field. Maybe not everybody. I think Jan might have some batteries. No, he hasn't. He's got full battery too. So the whole field completely reset basically in this race with some different tyre compounds as well. Psheng already sliding around on this restart. Really struggling for traction. And he's got Dan right behind him. He almost hit the back from there. Fabian's already on the back of Bonfo, but not quite as close as Dan is to Psheng. Around the outside he can go. Can he make it stick? That'll be a great overtake by Dan. Round the outside of turn 4. Gets the move to stick, it looks like. Can he make it work on the outside? It's three right behind. Is that Jan going past? Drags and ski. Can Dan make it down the inside of Psheng? Into the corner he goes. Dan goes down the inside of Psheng, pushes him off, but he does get the move. And here comes Fabian now into P2. And Psheng will now send it on the inside line. And Fabian goes round the outside and gets P2 on the restart. Now it's time for Dan to lock in. But already Fabian's right behind him. And now it's going to be a crazy defense from Dan to get ahead. Inside line. Not really going to take the defensive line, but Fabian on the inside once again. Dan squeezing him. Will Dan send it around the outside? Yes, he will. Goes for it. He's trying his best to stay around the outside. And it's still side by side through into the hairpin. Will Fabian wrap around the outside? Dan is trying what he can to get the overlap. Struggling for traction on the exit. Fabian sends it on the inside line. Contact. Fabian almost spins. Dan goes right outside. Here comes John now for second. John gets him. Gets his teammate into second place. Now John goes for the race lead on Dan. Down the straight with the DRS. It's looking really plausible here. Dan runs out of battery, looks like. And it's to the outside goes John. Dan doing anything he can to defend. Pushes John off the track. John goes off and will look as though he'll take the lead of the race. That's a controversial one. But I think John got away with that. And Dan get back past. It's going to be a matter of opinion, really. Look at this though. Here comes John there. He's struggling. It's 3 wide for the race lead. He goes Fabian on the outside. And he goes for it. Dan sends it down the inside and pushes Fabian to the curb. And Dan still leads the race now. Doing anything he can to defend against the McLarens. He pushes him into the wall. And it's side by side heading into the DRS detection point. Dan's still in front and he still fends off the McLarens behind, sliding through every corner on those hard tyres, doing anything he can to defend. Here comes Fabian, still side by side with Dan on the exit of the corner. John's doing what he can to get past and Fabian's got him. Can Dan get back past? I don't think he can. Here comes John around the outside in the McLaren. His teammate, but Dan's still there. Here comes John, that's the inside. Can he go past in the hairpin? He's going to send it down the inside. On the curb though, he's going to get pushed wide and he gets contact with him now. Pshenk's now in this fight as well on those old hard tyres. Where the fuck did he come from? Rain. Is that rain coming into the equation now? Oh my god, there's no way. With 7 laps to go, make it 6 when Fabian crosses the line. We could very well see rain here at Singapore in the closing laps. What a race this is turning into. Go for it here, John. Dan left the door open. That was not the best move from him. I don't know why he did that. And John there still side by side with down the exit. Oh, Dan's sliding. And he's really struggling for given. John does get second place. But can Dan get back at him here with the battery? To the inside he goes. He's being very aggressive to the inside line. Sends it down the inside. But he brakes way too late. And completely costs himself time there. Comes back on the track side by side with John. Psheng gets 3 seconds now, meanwhile. And that's going to fuck his race up. He's now going down to P6. The championship leader will. So this has got huge championship implications in this race. But Dan there comes off the corner. He's still right behind John. The rain is really making a difference here. Dan inside goes down into turn 1. Once again, he goes off the track. But I think it was an illegal overtake somehow. And here comes Ski now in the fight. He could get P2 in this race. Looking very quick in these mixed conditions. We've seen Ski always come alive in the wet conditions. It's difficult conditions, but not quite enough. Dan is doing anything he can to defend against both cars behind him. Here comes Ski, here comes John as well. It's going to be 3 wide into the corner, it looks like. It is 3 wide. That's going to be a crash, surely. Oh my god! Off the track goes 2 cars. Into the wall goes Ski, big damage. And Dan spins around. Oh, Dan spinning around there. We'll try and rejoin next to Bonfo, and that 3-wide moment has ruined Dan's race a little bit there. Ski pits. Ski makes a last-second decision to pit for intermediate tyres. He does not want to stay out in these conditions. Will Dan do the same? Yes, he will. 3 seconds. So that means, in theory, Ski, if he does, he just went around the outside of Drag's AI car. Ski could win the race because of the penalty for Pshank, unless he served it in the pit lane. We'll see. But no, Ski's now outside of 3 seconds of Pshank now. What a fascinating end to the race. Will Fabian pit is the question. Will he serve the damage? Fascinating into the race. Fabian, Ski, no, Ski gets a penalty. He'll probably appeal that penalty though because he overtook Drag's AI car off the track. That was fair enough, honestly. Oh, Fabian's changing the front wing, and this could be some fortune here for Dan. Actually, I just realised Shank must have made a mistake or something because Ski's back within 6 seconds of him again. This could mean that Ski and Fabian are battling for the race win now if that penalty does not count for Ski. So this is getting really interesting. This could be the battle for the net race lead between these two if Shank didn't serve his 3-second penalty. If he did, he'd have to prove it because otherwise it won't count as a served penalty. That's how it works. But, oh my. Bonfo doing what he can, and Dan tries to get past Bonfo, but he's doing anything he can to defend his Bonfo now. I know he lets him pass, and Dan does get P4 now. And even if he serves 3 of those seconds of his penalties, it looks like he could still actually win the race on track anyway. And he's doing anything he can to chase down Shank for that. Oh, Fabian's spun, he's in the wall! Fabian's crashed out! He's not out of the race completely, but he's got front wing damage. He completely lost it, and that could give a chance to Dan to get P3. Unbelievable scenes here at the end of the race. Fabian has big damage on that car, and Dan will do it. He's got damage too, though, on the front left-hand plate of the car. Unbelievable scenes. Oh, Fabian's letting that customer a chance to go after Ski for the position, potentially. With the penalty as well, it could actually give Ski the second place anyway, and maybe even the win. This is crazy work. And Shank there, doing what he can. Ski is chasing him down, but Shank on the road at least will win the race, but I'm not sure if that's going to count because if Ski's penalty gets investigated, he will win the race. So it's either Shank or Ski who can win, and that's unbelievable scenes. I cannot believe that happened. Fabian there with the damage could very well lose out to P2 at the end. On the track, no he doesn't. Ski, I think, won the race. Anyone watching the stream still? I don't think anyone's watching anyway, but in case anyone watches to this point in the stream, officially Ski is a first-time podium and race winner, podium set and race winner. He wins the Singapore Grand Prix.